I was working on Blake, and I've been working on Blake, and then Michael Phillips is sort of one of the big sort of figures in Blake studies, especially when it comes to the kind of materials that Blake uses, the colors, the exact prints. There's a huge sort of thing about Blake not just being a poet, right, but actually an artist, of course, also. And he's of course also a painter, etc. And he does prints, etchings, and he came up with a new technique. Anyway, one of the people that knows most about this in the world is Michael Phillips.
It's much harder to do this process. The letters aren't as close together, so...
Came across his work. And that was part of the reason why I was interested in that, was to get this material to be useful for students too, right? Because on the one hand, you know, it's a piece of art.
Oh my God, that's extraordinary.
And we'd want it in the archive and have it here. But we'd also wanted to have it accessible and making it clear to students.
You can see we've got them in these beautiful boxes now, all set up for long-term preservation and for visitation and research use. So hopefully a long and happy life here at the Woodson.
What we're looking at here today is the collection of Michael Phillips's reproduction of William Blake's prints. Michael Phillips has recreated Blake's printing process in which he used copper plates and engraved them with text and illustration so that they could be printed in one process.
Well, I've been reading these poems for a long time. Saw the print in a book, and I even saw the reproductions of the illuminated pages, and I understood in an abstract way that the image and the text went together with Blake, but I never really got it until I saw that it's one print and the writing and the imagery are all put in there together in one medium and pressed onto the page.
This was extraordinary. In fact, that's the one I printed myself when I visited Michael in Oxford, that very one. So the original printing plates do not exist anymore. These are, in my view, these are the closest we are at the moment to the original Blake printing plates.
The reaction for students when they first see these types of materials is always, I would say, wonderment. They hold the paper and see how thick the paper is. You can feel almost the cotton rags that went into creating this paper. In a highly laborious process that William Blake was undertaking to create this. And then Michael Phillips recreated that process.
He's certainly one of the figures that we want to have everything we can about him in the library, especially with Professor Rogier making specialization into his work. We want to be the best resource we can for that kind of study.